So Armadale House, alterations and additions on Cullen Country, wonderful team with Ian Provenance-Build and Fiona Brockhoff as the landscape architect. Street elevation. So the renovation to a gracious freestanding two-storey Victorian home located within the conservation area in Armadale. Already a large house, the client aspiration was clear. How do we make the most of this place? Our strategy is about tuning the home to occupation, to light and to landscape. Interventions are targeted and strategic and contained largely within the existing footprint. Essentially resourceful. This is an exercise in what to keep, what to recycle and where to intervene. Ultimately though, it's a project built to last. Calvino talked about lightness. The site is a walled garden facing west to a busy street and the neighbourhood is leafy. The existing plan and section you can see here. The original house has a typical cellular plan with rooms off a central hallway, following a predominant pattern of living downstairs and sleeping upstairs. The heritage lean-to bathroom had to be retained. You can see that at the here at the back of the existing house. Newer re-additions, sometime in the 1990s, lack nuance to the setting and have an awkward arrangement of pokey spaces in between. So the existing house, existing interiors, you can see newer rear additions from the 1990s have a vast living space which lacked the grace of the old. In the middle of the house is a disconnection from front to back is compounded by a solid stair impeding movement and blocking light and views at the centre of the plan. Empty side yards, which are actually generous, are underutilised with a confused connection between additions and the existing. This is the new plan. So the extraordinary qualities of the original house are its thick walls, high skirtings and soaring ceiling heights. The heavy existing stair is replaced at the centre of the house and the intermediary spaces, laundry, pantry, powder room, these spaces in the middle, are reorganised with connections to light and to garden. Domestic space here is an important social realm, hosting work-related events as well as regular gatherings of family and friends. And that happens regularly during every Friday. The plan repositions the kitchen as a social hub of the house. It's a pinwheel of indoor and outdoor spaces radiating from it. The dining, a lounge, billiards room, sitting room, pool garden space, mini golf out to the here in netball and barbecue trellis. They really were looking to use the entire site. It's really, the kitchen's the centre and it's a domestic panopticon. The hallway provides the connecting thread with formal cellular rooms you can see in the existing space at the end. And importantly, the master bedroom, powder robe and ensuite were located on the ground floor, anticipating an ageing in place so that they can live on one level. The hallway opens the entire house through the central spine from front to back, from side to side, garden to garden. The lounge, the existing lounge, we used a light touch where all rooms already work. The master bedroom, here you can see cuttings opening between cellular rooms. The details work with thinness and thickness. Thickness of the existing masonry walls with new stone thresholds. Thinness of the new steel insertions and feathered edges distinguish old and new, linking related rooms one to the other and back to the central hall. There's always natural light. View to the garden through the layered, this is a view to the garden through the layered plan. Again, always garden. The section is a departure point for the new architecture, unlocking the poor connection between the historic front and the newer back, shaping light, adding to the play of volume within the house, and the compressed centre is used as an opportunity to connect rooms. The new stair is light and made of folded steel. The section negotiates the original mid-level bathroom that is to be retained and refurbished, and that's in this central component here. The stair is held off the existing walls, exposing a 7.8 metre double floor height and allowing the penetration of liquid light into the centre of the home. Thick and thin, old and new, and always natural light. An acoustic landing separates the walls. It's light, delicate, but spatially connected. The bathroom binds light and landscape. Upper floors is ephemeral and cloud-like. The upper floor is essentially left as it is, a bit of white paint and a new bookcase. The hallway is this light centre with connection to garden, top light, and a new recycled floor, timber floor. The midway section creates spatial complexity at the centre, and you can see from left to right the netball court, the ensuite, top light coming to the powder room, the light-filled central hall, and then pantry and coffee making looking out onto the northern garden. So the ensuite with air and light, and you can see the high-level air and light. Powder room with warmth and light. The bathroom, the central stair with light from above, and then opening to the garden. The exterior of fine steel set into existing brickwork, looking out to coffee and herbs. The short section, again to the rear, we raised the floor on the right-hand side, creates spatial definition between the dining and lounge using exaggerated skirting. It's quite a high existing skirting as the datum. The rooms are separate but visually connected. The dining room at the heart frames and opens to the garden. Thanks. The high kitchen window really framing treetops with a whole series of very edited views. The kitchen, as that central point, opens to the garden and dining. To the left, fixed bay window here, to the pool room, darkened corner holding media and fireplace. Light and breeze from two sides. You can see an opening on this side, top light illuminating the depth, and then out through this internal, essentially a study out to, and through the laundry out to that putting green and netball court, all right from this central location of the kitchen. And here we are out at the putting green, netball. Kids are playing sport, they're utter sport lovers. The eastern elevation really just shows the grand vertical against the tangential horizontal, essentially new openings within an existing brickwork. The east building faces to the garden, or is it a building in a garden, seeing through breeze, light, etc. This garden trellis really was asked to recall the memory of Italian grandparents eating under the grapevine, and those grapevines are really starting to take off now. Finally, a water garden to the east outside of the kitchen, you can see to the left. The landscape by Fiona Brockhoff really was an exercise in curating the existing established garden, bringing a diversity of plants and spaces, editing out neighbours, and adding new garden to help work in unison with the architecture. Here we have the conflation of garden and interior, and that's it. Thank you.